I still wanna party with her. Oh yeah. Even when it don't feel right. You know I'ma party with her, with her, with her. We be chillin' on the Wednesday, slept until it's Thursday. She don't wanna leave me.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, people. It's like it or not, and guess who it is? It's your boy DJ Exclusive. James Bud Williams gonna rock out with some music. Get y'all morning started, y'all, and we'll get the show started momentarily, y'all. Y'all stay tuned. We got a good one coming up for y'all this morning, y'all. Let's go. Like it or not.
Yeah, she's with me. I've been trying my love every day of the weekend. With my baby, what's up? Always down every weekend. No, love her too much, but I just can't get enough. She's slipping through the cracks, call my bluff. She know what's up. Yeah, can't get enough. Yeah, even when it don't feel right. Hey, I still wanna party with her. Even when it don't feel right. Yeah. You know I'ma party with her, with her, with her. Yeah, even when it don't feel right. I still wanna party with her. Oh yeah. Even when it don't feel right. You know I'ma party with her, with her, with her. Even when it don't feel right.
She bring my way for the team play. For Pete's sake, I'm above average, I pay my stats. I gotta matter what he say. I'm the 2010 young LeBron James off the backboard, type of bad boy. Hold it down for the task force. If I run his fake, then you ask for it. Cross need to laugh more. I keep it 100 on dashboard. The live show need a passport, cause the beat bounce to the cap torn. Feel like I live it, fast forward, but I asked for it. Misfit, got a quick lit on a crash course from the tattered garment to the tabloid. Spoke how I live it into existence. Might be ahead of myself, but the bank account did jump up a couple figures. Feel like nobody could with us. I'm a flight risk. I play among the stars in the Hollywood Hill. The space station couldn't even get in touch with me. Praise faith that I stuck with it. Wave. No, I really can't complain.
Of course the mic is muted. Everything else will be uncivilized. Good morning, everyone. Miss Nuru, good morning. East Point in the building. I see you. Good morning. Jay Lamar, good morning, y'all. Colin Paul, Bubba Sparks. All right, y'all. If you're ready, like it or not, it's about to go down.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, good morning, good morning again, everybody.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Like It or Not. We're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it. How y'all doing this morning?
I'm doing good because it's Friday. Friday.
Yes.
Gotta get down on Friday.
Oh, man. Dang, I forgot today was Friday.
Today is Friday.
You know, I keep trying to think that Fridays don't matter that much because of the pandemic, because my kids don't have to go to school or they, homeschool. But the truth is, Friday is still Friday.
Right.
I'm actually glad tomorrow is Saturday, probably because we do work really hard every single morning, Monday through Friday, coming on here early in the morning, sunshine, sun, rain, whatever the case, whatever's going on, we're here and we're here for you guys. So hit that like, share, and subscribe button while you're in that chat room. Send up some super chats, send some love, comments, all that. We want to see it all. What's going on with y'all, Rebecca? What's up with you? You said you've been out there exercising, getting ready, what'd you say? What'd you say on your post? Getting summer ready? Summer fine?
Yeah, summertime fine. Summertime fine, baby. Summertime fine.
Summertime fine.
Yes. I really am, I usually work out anyway, but I'm going double time this time because I need to be summertime fine. I'm just so exhausted. I'm so exhausted, but I'm not. It's crazy because the workouts give me like a good bit of like 2-hour energy right after the workout.
Yeah.
But right when I hit that shower,
it's a wrap.
It's a wrap for me.
That's
I'm
it.
like, the bed.
Wait.
Colin.
We gotta. You can't let that slide by. You mean to tell me you wait 2 hours after you exercise or shower?
I have to because I have to go log on to my computer and work.
Oh, Okay. Well, damn. Now you
He was trying to come for you. He was trying to come for you, Rebecca.
It's okay.
Well, no, we just had to put it out there because you left it out there. I'm glad you clarified for the audience.
Well, no, I mean, this is my business. That's my business. I take a shower when I want to shower. I shower regularly, of course, morning and night. But at the same time, like,
Lord help us, Jesus. 'Cause I can't listen. I don't care. Like, as soon as I'm done, I got to hit the shower because I be sweating like I'm a big guy because I am a big guy. I be sweating.
Yeah, I don't sweat on my. I don't sweat like down my face or whatever. I really just sweat down my back. That's really it. But
Lord, nah, man, my forehead, because I ain't got no hair to absorb. So you got hair to absorb all your
To
sweat.
absorb everything, right?
Sweat, like I be like that. The whole thing they be saying in church, sweat like drops of blood just be coming down my face, all my shirt, everything be soaking wet. So first thing I
you
do
know
is
what?
hit the shower.
Randomly with sweats though is like my mustache line. That would be right here.
See, now you cannot talk about us talking about your business when you put your business out there to be talked about.
That to me is nothing because to me, a lot of women, and there's one woman in particularly during the pandemic because I get laser, but there's one woman particularly during the pandemic who was discussing, it was Drea, who was known as like one of those sexy Instagram models. She was giving us tea on how to get it off because we wasn't able to go get laser. So yeah, a lot of women definitely. Now I'm not growing no beard, no James Harden. Okay,
A whole damn beard on them.
These joints be out.
Dog, if you could grow a James Harden, I'd be jealous because I can't. Like I've been trying. I mean, Bubba, you got a real beard over there, man. I have a Padawan beard. I have a fledgling beard. It's the Padawan. Right?
You cut it down.
It's not a jet. Well, I did because it used to just grow wild, and I didn't know how to take care of it myself. But anyway, hey, listen, I want to bring a friend in on today's episode because my dude Jamal Green. Just pull him up on screen because let me show y'all why I want to bring him in on this episode. Look at how clean this boy's camera is. This man went and got camera, microphone, everything. Jamal Green, civil rights advocate from Chicago, longtime friend. How you doing, man?
There we go. I'm good. How are y'all? What's up? Good morning.
Good. Hey.
I just woke up.
Why can't everybody else come on like this?
It's a little too early for you. But what time? Oh, you in Chicago, so it's 7:30 for you, huh? 7:45.
Right.
Yeah.
It's early. It's 7:30.
We got to make sure we got the name correct. It's not Jamal. It's Jamal.
Jamal.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
He corrected me.
Jamal.
You know, with me, everybody has to correct me at least one time on their name. Unless you have a really full Americanized name like John, I'ma mess it up. I never forget calling Jamal, calling him Jamal. He said, Jamal. So I had messed it up since then. Like Shama Sawant. The other day I was killing that K. I was like Kashama. I thought I was doing good. I was like, welcome to the stage, Kashama Sawant. So anyway, it takes my country ass a little bit. Hey man, appreciate you joining us this morning. How you doing up there in the Chi-Town?
Man, it's cold, but I'm good. You know, our weather is very bipolar. So you get cold, you get hot. We had hot weather for about 2 days a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Man, I had the sunroof, open. I mean, everybody was outside. Y'all know our Cliff friends was walking on the lake with their short shorts. You know what I'm saying? Like it was one of them days, couple of them days, and then it went straight back to like super snow and super cold. Bruh. You feel me? So
that was us last week?
Right. Just last week.
It was like game of outfits. Crazy. Like it's like the thermometer stat games begin in this season. You got you be having on the sandals, and then you got to go back to the thermometer and be like, what's the thermostat? And be like, damn, what am I doing? Heater or cold?
Cold.
Had the nerve to put on shorts.
I put the coat up. Had to bring it back out.
Did you put it in the attic? You had to climb in the attic and get it back out.
I had to put it in the back of the closet.
Listen. It's like this in Atlanta right now. Two things. It's like you either sleeping naked one night or you sleeping with the full long johns on with sweater on at night because that's just it's socks exactly. But listen, no, for real, like climate change is real. These trees and these plants don't know what the hell's going on. One day they green, right? Because they thought it was going to be fall. I mean, they thought it was going to be spring. They came out, the bees started coming out. Next thing I know, I saw bees frozen on the ground, bro, and the trees look like fall all over again. They done died, and they trying to go through it all again. So this climate thing is
climate change is real.
For real. Climate change is real, man. So anyway, good morning. Like we got plenty of politics to talk about, but I don't feel so inclined to actually just jump into anything right away, unless Rebecca, you got something on your radar that you want to hit right away.
Not yet.
That said, okay. I just want to make sure because I got to get permission before we go forward. So we were talking about the kind of beard, the extent to which Rebecca can grow a full James Harden beard versus.
I heard some of that.
I cannot grow a full James Harden. I was saying I got a little, so the pandemic, okay? Maybe like when us women, the panoramic, the Ponderosa. Let me tell you, we women were out here like, oh my God, who's gonna do our hair? We got to resort back to, washing it and probably trying to press it ourselves. And that was fine. We thought it was going to be 2 weeks. 2 weeks had passed, and then nails started to be, at the edge. I had to cut those off, go get some press-ons. And then, I was like, oh my God, I didn't get laser for like 3-4 weeks now. So whiskers
looking like
started
a whole
coming
werewolf.
Out. It was crazy. So, and I'm a hairy person, but I can't grow it all like that. But I had to get her together. I had to get her together. I had to snatch up that razor, with the sensitive skin, what you call it, and get it together. Some people were naring. Okay. Some people were doing all that. Lip will be burnt with that product, but I had to do what I needed to do. And I was just saying that's where I sweat when it gets really hot. Like seriously.
Sweat on your nose just to be sitting on that mustache.
It's just the nose down to the top lip. That's when I know it's really, really hot because I don't sweat on my face. But I know when they start attaching to them little hairs, it's done.
That's when you really know it.
I was about to say, that's when you know that it's coming back in.
That's when you know you really exercise. I tell you when I know I'm exercising really good. So when I feel that sweat go down underneath my chest, down my stomach, that's like, okay,
that's how you know you're done.
And you see that imprint around your man boobs. I'm like, okay, I'm working out really hard now. Listen, she gets to tell about her beard. I'll tell her
right there underneath.
Don't. Yeah.
Wait, what you said? What you said?
Dwayne said he gonna zoom in on your upper lip.
Do it. No, she's together. And I got a beauty mark. So it's like you can't just have hair and then this beauty mark right here. You gotta make sure. Hey,
let's do this. J-Ball, I 2 things, man. You look like a young kid because you don't have any, you got barely any facial hair, but you still got your good hair up here. You're still a young man, and we a little jealous here because everybody on our staff, from the people you see on screen to behind screen, got nail hair. So
on screen.
I see.
Wait a minute, hold on. I'm on screen, baby. And
no, I'm saying the dudes on screen.
The guys.
Like that, okay, natural hair, given by the Lord. But go ahead now. That Haitian, I got that Haitian scalp, baby. It drapes.
J-Ball, how old are you, brother? Because I remember flying over to Chicago. You done ran for mayor. You've been in these streets as an activist. You have faced the police state head on. You faced the justice system head on, and you steadily organize every single time I see you. You're organizing some action in Chicago, even during the pandemic. Just tell the folks a little bit about you.
Yeah. First of all, Ben, you've been amazing so many years. I've been knowing you. And just, I think years ago when I really first started paying attention and, seeing your shows was you did a show on me when I got arrested in 2016, I believe. And they were coming after me. I was a political prisoner here in Chicago, charged with 9 felonies and several misdemeanor counts, given a $350,000 bond just for leading a protest and framed by a few white police officers. But we had luckily just got in a new state's attorney because the old state's attorney is who we've been fighting. So she was waiting to find a way to get some of us activists. And I was the most influential. So when they grabbed me, you know, they worked 2 days to figure out what they can charge me with. Start trying to go through videos, start trying to go through pictures of protests and see how they can get a police officer to say I did something to him. So they were talking about I grabbed the officer's waistband like I was grabbing his gun. And I mean, all type of craziness. Right. And the judge, my bond court judge, was like automatically like, you are out there rioting. And I'm like, ain't you a bond court judge? How you how you decide my fate right here? This is the first time I'm coming to court.
So let me do something real quick, J-Ball, because you don't know it, but we see it. Your camera went out, and it's a little trick. I think Rebecca could probably help you out with
that. How did that happen?
And it came right back. Look at that. Look at God.
How did that happen? I don't know how. I don't know what button. I don't know how I hit the computer. Anyway.
You know what? Yeah. You gotta be. See these MacBooks, man. Like people always talk about MacBooks, but
real
man, I'm telling you, it is the Mac is the worst purchase I have ever made. I ain't even gonna lie, but
my MacBook is perfect, dude. It's like running good. It's not on there. It's overclocked like a mug, but it's good.
J-Ma, you were saying,
keep going. Your camera's back.
Yeah, the bond. You got to end on that bond.
Yeah, I had a $350,000 bond. The judge was like, you know, basically deciding my fate right in front of my eyes, and I'm sitting there in my torn tank top from the police, like sitting in court trying to get a regular bond so I can get out of there. They gave me $350,000 bond. I've never been arrested or convicted of anything. And so I was a political prisoner. The whole country saw what happened to me. Started getting played on the news, celebrities start getting involved. And they raised $35,000 to get me out that next day.
Wow.
That's love.
Ben here did a video when they arrested me and talked about how they were coming after me. And that was really when I saw him and started to see his work. And then I brought him to Chicago to introduce me. When I ran for mayor, I was the youngest to ever run for mayor of Chicago. But it started out, you know, early on as the head of kind of leading the Laquan McDonald movement, where he was shot 16 times, a 17-year-old. And so as the face of that, we were fighting Rahm Emanuel big time. I was his big critic, protesting his house several times. That kind of started a trend around the country.
Hold that thought right there. Hold that thought right there. In the chat room, I need everybody in the chat room to give us a big F Rahm Emanuel in all the chats. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, everywhere. F Rahm Emanuel. And everywhere. Joe Biden, if you appoint that man to be an ambassador to anything but prison,
right?
F Joe Biden too. Go ahead, J-Mo.
So, you know, we were fighting Rahm Emanuel head on. And, you know, I think, it drew a lot of national attention. A lot of protests. We were protesting him everywhere he went. He definitely couldn't come to the black neighborhood. This is the same mayor who shut down 50 black schools at one time, shut down every mental health facility at one time. He had a lot of different things that he did as mayor, but right here was like the icing on the cake. You know, he covered up Laquan McDonald's murder to get elected. And so during the election, this happened back in October. He was shot 16 times. Nobody knew about it until after April, when Ron was actually reelected. So they covered up the video. Nobody could see the video. And so it was an activist friend of mine named William Calloway who went to court and was filing paperwork, and he was working with a journalist. And then the judge finally was like, release the video, told the city, release the video. Yeah. So the video released that year in, I want to say October, November. I mean, all hell broke loose in Chicago. To see that young boy, 17-year-old, get shot 16 times by Jason Van Dyke, and literally by the third time he was already on the ground. So the rest of those 13 shots, he was literally on the ground just being shot, and you could just see the smoke, you know, as he was being shot, like laying lifeless. And so that sparked the movement, and we fought Rahm. We started with 3 people that we wanted to get out. It was Gary McCarthy, who was the superintendent. He got out. Rahm threw him under the bus and made him resign about a week later because he thought that was going to save him. Anita Alvarez, who was the state's attorney, she knew about the video. She helped suppress it as well, who was the one who pushed for all of those charges on me. And then we unseated her with the first black state's attorney ever in the county. And then it was Rahm Emanuel. Then I ran against him. And then Rahm decided not to run again because his approval rating was about 21% here in the city.
His approval rating needs to be negative
chance.
5. His approval rate, like there should be
I'm still trying to figure out where them 20 people, 20%.
Yeah, where that 21%. Like, what's wrong with those people that they still pulling for run? And bro, like you've done all this. And I'm gonna go back to the first question I asked you. You've done all this, still ain't got a full face of hair. Like, how old are you, man?
Yeah, 25 years old. I'll be 26.
Oh, you are a baby.
Wow.
You been bro. Like, and we're not talking about like all this happening in the last 3 years. Like, you talking about the arrest. You said 2016, man. You've been in these streets since you were 19, probably, right?
15. Yep. So I was 15.
Oh my God.
But in the national spotlight since I was 19. Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Man. Now let me you know what? There's something I want to joke with you about some stuff, but we probably need to check it off air first. So on our commercial break, I'll make sure I can joke with you about it because I want to make sure that you clear and free and you're a free man. You there's nothing else hanging over your head, right? You good to go? Or are they still coming
Nothing
after you
hanging
right
over me. No, I'm 100% good.
That's right.
Okay, and they can't like based on what we say on this show, they can't come back and get you.
I'm 100% good, Ben.
Okay, all right.
No, but still, Ben,
I'm still gonna check off air.
Nothing is all. Hey, look.
Gate now. Okay.
I'm still gonna check off air.
Right.
Because Jamal's a real one. J-Mal's a real one. I can see.
Can't even get his name right.
Yeah. Listen.
You're giving Jamal Bryant. This is not Jamal.
Well, that's because he sound like Jamal Bryant. He sound like a preacher.
He do sound like a preacher.
They put in the chat room J-Mal Luther King. That's what they said. They being Rebecca. Let's play this clip. I want to play the clip of you where I think a lot of people first may have gotten to know you because it went super viral. The conversation that you had with Chris Hayes on MSNBC, where you just laid it down. Let's take a look at that clip.
Yeah.
How do you feel about whether or not this department in this moment can be trusted?
So, first of all, if you want to talk about the trust with the police and black people, there's never been trust. All right, so that's number one. Number two is that if you look at the numbers, 75% of murders go unsolved. So obviously they're not doing their job, and they haven't been doing their job in years. But hopefully Superintendent Eddie Johnson can do something about the police culture. But if we're talking about violence, police isn't the answer. You could put 100,000 police officers on the street that will not reduce violence in the city of Chicago because police are only there to react. They're only there to react. You have to put money into prevention. And right now, nobody has really said it, but his name is Rahm Emanuel. And this mayor that we have in the city of Chicago does not care about black people. And I'm going to put that on the record. When you can invest $100 million into DePaul basketball arena when they can practice at the United Center for free and $16.4 million into Uptown to build upscale apartments, when you can build these new bus stops we got now downtown, but walk in our neighborhoods and not $1 million is coming. When we walking past boarded up schools, boarded up houses, they knock it down with red X's with no plan to redevelop, mental health facilities shut down, the unemployment rate is the highest in Chicago than it is around the country. When you want to talk about violence, you got to talk about the economics, not police.
I felt that in my shana now.
Right in my spirit. But that was time for a praise break right there. Hey. That's enough to shout right there. Okay? Yeah.
My God.
Look, J-Mal even felt that. He channeled Martin
still
Luther
give me
King
chills.
right there. That's why he was J-Mal. That's why he was J-Mal Luther King. And then he said he don't care about black people. He channeled Kanye West right there. So he was J-Mal West. It was a lot. It was in Cornell West. He was doing a lot right there. I felt it in my shana.
He was Kanye before Kanye lost his mind. But go ahead.
Exactly. And he challenged a police officer in front of his face while looking at that white man like, you're not about to not name these names. We dropping names around here, baby.
Man.
Oh God.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I forgot all about it. I knew you did that clip, but I forgot about that clip, and I hadn't seen it in a while, man. That thing was powerful. He was nodding
himself, watching himself like, damn, I said that.
He's like, damn.
I still get chills watching it like, man.
You see, Chris Hayes was trying to Chris followed me on Twitter. I'm gonna send him this little bit right here because he was like, let me move this mic for this band before he shut this whole thing down, man.
Right. And I think those in the audio room, they like, keep it going. And because Chris was like, finna move the mic. He's like, go ahead,
Chris
zoom in on him.
He never been around. It's crazy when you ain't been around no black folks that been in the church, because then people don't know how to act when you really start talking and really start feeling it.
You get in that zone.
Listen, and don't put the mic around me, because the mic is gonna end up in my hand. Now I'm gonna start leading.
Chris is like, this is really good content, guys. This is amazing content, but he's making me a little nervous talking about Rahm Emanuel here. Look at the police officer. Look at the police chief. He's just mad.
That
video.
It's good that you did that. You literally at that young age said what you said, but you meant what you said. But it was the clarity, and it was the challenging of the people in the room.
And of the system.
It was the challenging of the system and the officer. You said that it's about economics, and that is something that everybody should know. And
real quick, Rebecca, how old were you in this clip? And tell us about tell us about it.
In this clip, I want to say I was about 21, maybe 21 or so.
Oh, you're giving 15 in this clip. You're giving 15.
15.
Now mustache.
Shut up, Rebecca. 21. Yeah, because I want to say the next year I was running for mayor, and I ran for mayor at 22. So I want to say I was about 21. And that video got, millions, tens of millions of viewers. On every type of platform. So it was a powerful video for me. It was really chilling to see. I was sitting there waiting my turn and didn't know what to say yet. And so I was just listening to all of the BS they were saying. And, it's only an hour little town hall, so you can't say much. And then they picked the wrong people from the city to talk. So you sitting there like, oh my God, So when it finally got to me, I'm just like, man, I'm going off. And I just kept going. Just kept going.
And you
came out good.
You like a preacher. Now listen, let's keep it 100, bro. So you obviously grew up in the black church, right?
Definitely. 100%.
Definitely. Okay. So are you actually Minister Green?
No. I have a problem with how our churches in Chicago treat their community. So I've been a big advocate against some of the pastors here too. So, a lot of them don't like me, but it's okay. I think that I'm a rebel against any system that I believe is oppressing us in our community. So that's just how I am. How I fought Chase Bank and got them to give up $1 billion last year, and fought the churches and fought the city. All these issues, any issue that is really plaguing our community, I'm gonna step up against. Next is the payroll these payroll companies. So we really we really want to keep fighting for us, and we want to set the tone here in Chicago, and hope folks around the country can pick it up.
Man, I tell you what, let's take a quick break. You're gonna sit with us for most of the show, or however long you can stay with us. So let's take a quick break. I want to check some stuff with you in the background, and then we're gonna cover a couple of news stories and get your take on it, Rebecca and James. More likely than not, after this.
Good morning, everyone. Again, it's your boy James Williams, DJ exclusive, y'all. Here to hit y'all with the hotness. So we about to get it in.
I could really use a change of scenery. Yeah. Everybody smoking all the greenery. Yeah. Clothes and matches, they were handed down to me. But I'm still fly, I know. I'm still fly, let's go. It could all be worse.
Good morning, my mommy. Love you, mama. Good morning. Sensation, good morning.
Make the man, but that poison's gonna kill you.
Y'all make sure that y'all hit that like button. Y'all hit that like button. Hit that like button. Make sure that you share and subscribe, y'all, so you know when Like It or Not is going down.
I'm free.
Justice, good morning, sir.
Here and now, it's my time to run it out. It's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me.
Nat A, you're absolutely right. I forgot to get a disclaimer. Chuck Gleason, Like It or Not, is not responsible for any damages that you may incur in your house or any injuries that you may sustain. Thank you, management. Like It or Not.
Cheers to all the haters.
Goku, good morning.
Rising to the top was my destiny. And you can see whatever from
Susie, good morning. Good morning.
I'm still fly, I know.
Bethany, this song is called Still Fly by Rebel Day. Rebel Day. Olivia B, we are working on it. It's not as easy as you would think it would be. Courtney, good morning. Patricia, good morning. Happy Friday, everybody.
Can't nobody take me here.
Right Church, wrong pew. Good morning, good morning.
It's my time.
To the you as well, sir. Good morning.
I'm young, I'm free.
There's my Nick. Good morning, Nick. Mark S. Good morning.
Here and now, it's my time to run.
My cousin Johnny Jefferson is in the building. Happy belated birthday, Johnny. You just turned 40.
It's your time. If you're on the bus, say yeah.
Latif, good morning.
If you're on the train, say yeah. Yeah. If you gotta walk, say yeah. Yeah. Everybody's going somewhere.
Mara, good morning, good morning.
Really don't care. Yeah. Life is never
Savage Sweetheart, good morning. Happy Friday.
in the air. Yeah. Say yeah. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run out.
You don't know if my love is real. Baby, listen to me, here's the deal. If you're not here, I'm not the same. I'm reading a new chapter, babe. Been stuck here in the bed for days. I've been staring at the telephone, cause when you're gone,
say it with your chest. Latif, I needed that.
8 o'clock, body talk. There's no need to bring it up. Nothing you say makes it better. Wreck and fall, tear apart. Issues left behind, restart. Nothing you say makes it better. Hey, bring it right back to me, baby.
Brenda, good morning.
We've been here before. Give me the real this time. No cat, no lies. It's our own core. Bring it right back to me, baby. I know my heart wants more. Give me the good this time. No cat, no lies. It's our own core. I never wanted.
It's truth. You see it. You see the shoulders.
I know we've been through way too much, but I'm confident we'll make it through. I'm here for you. You're not by yourself. Later, clock, body talk. There's no need to bring it up. Nothing you say makes it better.
You want to be in those streets, Rebecca? Rebecca says she want to be in the streets, y'all.
Behind restart. Nothing you say makes it better. Bring it right back to me, baby. No, we've been here before. Give me the real this time.
DB44, good morning.
Our own core, bring it right back to me, baby. I know my heart wants more. Give me the good this time. No cap, no lies. It's our own core.
Gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret everything. So I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door, I'll be ready for her. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you. Yeah, promise, I'ma give it to you.
Miss that smile, Lord knows I ain't seen that in a while, but it's your style. So something must be up keeping you down. You a queen that must be heaven sent.
Amy Davis, thank you for your super chat. Amy Davis.
And how I felt. Honestly, I'm used to throwing wishes in a well. My conscience tells me that I could have helped without fail. Actions speak louder than words, and that's a lesson that I learned all by myself.
Let her know, I gotta let her know.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, like it or not, here we go again.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. You're joined, as always, Rebecca Azor, DJ Exclusive, and J. Mal Green is on the screen with us. Young brother, ain't even 26 yet out here doing these things.
Baby still got milk on his tongue.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just wet behind the ears still.
Wet behind the ears, right.
Out here making more moves than grown men. Put it like that, though. Like
And grown women. Some grown women.
Well, yeah, them too. But I ain't gonna call them out. I ain't gonna get myself canceled on this morning's.
Right.
So
we don't need another one of them, Ben.
I don't need no more. I got enough. I got enough enemies coming on a regular basis. Let's go down here to. We want to bring you down here to Atlanta, Jamal, and we want to talk about this the mass shooting that we just came through. And one of the things that really struck me was the fact that the shooter bought the gun the same
day.
Damn day. This is after Captain Jay Baker's disastrous run at being a spokesperson, where he, instead of consoling the community, this clear man said that he that the shooter had a bad day. After all of that, Deputy Atlanta Police Chief Charles Hampton took questions from the media regarding the recent mass shooting. And when asked about the shooter, how and when the shooter acquired the gun, this is what he had to say.
The 9mm gun, considering his reportedly mental illness?
I'm not sure about any mental illness. All we do know is that he did purchase the gun the day of the incident.
Thank you.
I just want to let's Jamal just go around the room, but I want to start with you, man. Like, we always talk about gun violence and how the Republicans and conservatives and some Democrats, for that matter, are consistently trying to prevent any movement on gun violence prevention, background checks, or even like a waiting period. And a waiting period in this case could literally have saved 8 people's lives. What do you think?
8 people's lives, yeah. Well, so here in Illinois, the wait period is 3 days. So, that definitely would have, we have some of the strictest gun laws in the country with the highest violence in Chicago. But, that's another story. But anyway, that definitely would have saved people's lives if it was here. And he wouldn't have been able to buy it on that same day. I think it was crazy to see that sheriff, man. Get up there and he like, he had a bad day yesterday, got up today and did this. Like, it was like, what?
What are we talking about here? Bad day.
Right.
On a bad day, you might catch me rolling up a couple. Like, but you ain't gonna catch me going off and shoot nobody.
I saw what you said you do on the end of your bad day. Your hot honey wings and what you
listen. That's a real bad day. Now, a real bad day, I break my little keto diet and I'm like, I don't care.
Honey wings sound really good.
Ooh,
actually.
listen, no.
They
It's
do
hot.
actually.
It's honey lemon pepper wings. It's honey lemon pepper wings.
Honey lemon pepper wings are really good. I had that
with all the French fries they can pack into the little styrofoam container, right? With Lowry seasoning salt on top. With a Diet Coke.
With a Diet Coke, Ben?
That honey lemon pepper? My God.
Hey,
today.
look, with all that stuff on that food, Ben, like in 20 years, they're going to be like, if you ate any of the Lowry seasoning on all your fries, you might have mesothelioma. Like,
you might be entitled to.
Right. Listen, black man, you ain't going to come on here and blaspheme Lowry's now. Don't tell me you don't use Lowry's. You don't use Lowry's?
No, you got to use Lowry's out here. But no, it was...
Big bottle.
What I do want to say about this, though, outside of the craziness with the sheriff and this incident where, this man shot several Asian women, I do want to say that I think that, the Asian community also needs to really look at this and take serious how, Black people, we always stand with every culture who do us wrong, right? Who oppress us in our own neighborhoods. We always stand with them because we were taught to be peaceful. We were taught peace throughout the years. And so we're standing up for our Asian brothers and sisters. But going forward, we'd love for them to step up for us as well. And,
facts.
Here in Chicago, I shut down a couple Asian nail salons in the last last couple years, where there were videos of Asian men literally putting their physically assaulting Black women. Even in one case, like dragging her down the street with like dang near naked, you know what I'm saying, and pushing her against the window, and literally another case hitting her, punching her in the face. Like we see a lot of disrespect from the Asian community in our neighborhoods because they own all of the nail salons or the beauty supply. So we have a lot of videos circulating of Asian hate towards Black people. And I want them to really look at this and see that Black people are taught peace and will stand up for you. But, you know, you guys really need to see how you're treating us in our neighborhoods because this isn't a good feeling to have. And I'm sure they see this.
And when you say that, it's not to say that we're taking away from what's happening with them, but it's just an understanding that we know, we know, and that is a conversation maybe for another day, maybe in the next 5 minutes, but it's still not taking away from what's happening to them. Nobody should be experiencing what's happening because of white supremacy, period. Exactly. That's it. But that definitely is something that we don't take lightly either, is that we've been disrespected because Black people are the ones that experience hate in this country the most. But we're
everybody.
Always, and we're always turning up to become allies and speak for and protect and be a voice for, that people expect us to be always. And
always.
we step up into that position, but we don't forget either. So while we're doing this for you, we are going to educate you as well. Continue to educate you on how to be better to us.
It's across the board, man, because one thing I hope Black folks stop doing is forgiving everybody.
Man,
I mean, you get, and listen, I'm saying that as a I did a whole ass debate with Yvette Carnell back after, I don't even remember which shooting it was of Black people. And her position in the debate was Black folks need to stop forgiving people. My position was, well, if the family need to forgive them to move on, that's their business, that's their prerogative, right? I'm actually on Yvette Carnell's side in this year of our Lord 2021. We keep forgiving these white supremacists, and we keep hugging them, and we keep trying to extend the grace of God to them. They're gonna keep doing it. And it's not until they see the wrath that we got inside of us too. Because on the opposite side, I think a reason a lot of church folks try to be so forgiving because they crazy as hell. I know them. They will snap and they would have been out, ran their car and just ran down a whole bunch of Klansmen just because it's Tuesday. You know what I mean? So I think they try to do that to keep from tapping into that rage. But I'm gonna be honest with you, we gotta stop forgiving these racists because they're not only just killing like Asian people and immigrants, and they're killing Black folks every day, and that's just how this country let it go.
Yep. No, hey, I'm 100% with you, man. And I'm mad you said that hugging because that video just popped in my head again where I was so pissed that day. But no, this is serious. We are the most forgiving people. Like, we forgive everybody. And they taught us. That's why when I said they taught us peace, no other culture was ever taught peace how they taught Black people. Why? Why did they teach us peace and forgiveness and, use religion so much throughout the years with us? Because they understood that if we didn't have those things, it'd have been a civil war every generation. And that was a civil war that they were going to lose. We definitely forgive everyone, and we always end up at the bottom. We have 2% of wealth in this country, and we have built everything, and still each and every day we get killed and oppressed and still can't even make it over the marker. And it has to end at some point.
I want to highlight this story a little bit more because, we are in solidarity, complete and total solidarity with our Asian brothers and sisters because they are the recipients of particularly because of COVID-19 and the way the Trump administration made the emphasis of China, the China virus.
The China virus.
We covered that yesterday with this police officer or the sheriff's officer who identified with this murderer and said he had a bad day. Turns out he had an entire line of T-shirts. Racist T-shirts, racist towards Asians, and I just want to bring up. There's a clip of Paul Mooney, and where he was talking about. Actually, just play the clip because I think it'll give some context.
Yeah.
Crazy white man, why did you wake up and kill everybody in the house? I don't remember. He doesn't remember. What an unusual case. We'll have to study this. Crazy nigga, why did you wake up in the project and kill everybody? I don't remember. 2,000 years, nigga, I bet you will remember.
Could have bleeped in.
Crazy white man, why did you wake up and kill everybody on your block? I'm 12 different personalities. 12 different people? How unusual. We'll have to study this. Crazy nigga, why did you wake up and kill everybody at BET on your job? Because I'm 12 different personalities. Oh, really, nigga? Well, pick who you want to be, because some nigga's going to jail. Fred, we don't give a damn. A nigga's going to jail today.
We laughing, but that's how it goes,
send me that
man.
video. That was good.
And I added that because he reposted it on the on yesterday on Twitter, and he was saying like, because people it started resurfacing because of the incident that happened, but he's like, this is serious. We're laughing about this, but this is years ago that I did this, and this is continuously going on. We can go through like even some Dave Chappelle stuff and find these. In his comedy, because this is serious. The way that white folks are treated, and they're mass murderers. They literally, like I said, when we did 2017, where we covered so much white folks just killing people in schools, going out to parties, all these kind of things, and they're still labeled as they're domestic terrorists. And here's the thing: they're labeled as having mental issues, daddy issues, you know, a kid that came from the church just trying to do right, a sex addiction, a remorseful sex, a remorseful
Fox
man
News,
with sex
y'all saw that
addiction.
crap,
And
man.
that's how they're labeling them. But as soon as a black man does something like this, and not to say any of them are correct, but it's the treatment after, it's how they're labeled, it's how they're catered to. That black
And
man
they don't even make it to jail. I mean, these guys make it to jail. Get Burger King.
They get Burger King. They get custom
They
vegan
get walks,
food.
Man, they get
you know,
walks and security next to them. No, there's no knee on their neck.
Bulletproof
There's
vest.
none of that.
Bulletproof vest. I'm like, bro, like, nah. He just put them out there like y'all put black folks out there. You know what I mean? But they treat
Wide
them with
open.
they treat them with a level of humanity that they strip away from us. That's what the Paul Mooney clip is really about. It's like listen, there is clearly the first thing they say when one of these clear people go out here and do a massacre is that it must be mental health issues. Even in that clip, Dwayne, cue up that clip again where he said he bought the gun the same day. And if you listen very closely, the very first question that's asked is, what was his mental health condition? His mental health condition was racist. Take a listen.
Right.
The 9mm gun, considering his reportedly mental illness.
I'm not sure about any mental illness. All we do know is that he did purchase the gun the day of the incident.
Thank you.
And that sounded like a black woman, to be honest with you.
She probably had to ask it for her little racist behind mainstream
Editor.
media news company.
Editor, yeah.
This is the thing.
Lucky I ain't the
we'll
chief.
go over there. We have to follow the story. We have to follow what's hot in mainstream media, so that if they're talking about the mental health issue, we're going to bring it on, and I'm going to have the first tidbit about what's going on about it, the first extra news, the uniqueness about his mental health condition. But that's not really the case here. They will fluff any story just because that's what mainstream media said it is what it is. They create a narrative and they follow that. But this is the issue with all of that. Like, and they'll have us in the front line tap dancing for that coin, tap dancing for that spot. And we know in our heart of hearts when we're in the front lines trying to get the news,
tap dancing.
it's like. In my heart, I'm going to be like, nah, why y'all out here talking about mental health issues, sir? What is the real story? How come you guys haven't discussed that it's a racial issue? Ask the officer that. Why did you guys put out summary of the officer talking, a statement of the officer talking and apologizing for him and saying that he had a bad day when he got up on that and said that the
they did
had
that?
a bad day. Yeah,
That's
they
what
did.
I missed that. I missed that altogether.
A whole statement saying that he's going through so much. He's never been through this in his whole. They're speaking about the police officer. He's never gone through this in his umpteen years of being a police officer. So when he got up on here, this is what he was. He is a great officer. People in the Asian community here love him. And da-da-da-da. I'm like, ain't no way.
They love him because they are terrified of him because he patrols their streets and he probably extorts them too. Help me remember our brother, because there's so many people who have been killed by police. Baltimore. He was thrown in the back of the paddy wagon, and they didn't lock him in, and he ultimately died. I can't think of his name. The audience mentioned his name, but I'll never forget the trial. As they were getting ready to go to trial for those officers who killed our brother from Baltimore, and it's going to irritate me until I can remember his name.
I remember his name.
What they did.
Freddie Gray?
Yeah, Freddie Gray. Thank you. Freddie Gray. Thank you. It's just we've been covering so many, it's hard to keep track. But let me tell you what the media did in that instance. They went and found out that his mother had a drug addiction, and they published that at the beginning of the trial as if it meant anything pertinent to the trial. So if they can't find anything on the dead black man, they'll go and attack your mama. And that's because this is exactly what the media does. So Paul Mooney is so correct with that clip you got us, Rebecca, because they identify with the humanity of these white people. They identify with he was having a bad day. Oh, he had a get the hell out of here, sexual addiction. Man, go wank off of the bathroom. Do whatever you got to do. Don't go and kill people, right? But then for a black person who is the victim, the black person who has been killed by this system, if they don't got enough dirt on them, they will even go as far as attacking your family. And because that's how this system is, this political system, but also, Rebecca, 100%, the media, that's what they want. They dig up everything on us to make us look miserable. If we smoked a blunt in third grade, right?
Man,
I don't know who the hell smoked in the third grade, but in middle school, you smoked a blunt. I did some things. But the point is that they'll bring that up about me, right? But then they'll take a look at this murderer and say he used to play drums at his church. I don't give a damn if he's Jesus Christ's second nephew twice removed. He is a white supremacist terrorist, and he killed 8 people, and we should treat him accordingly. That said, I want to play another clip. We're going to shift gears. I want to show y'all the energy that you should have when you're confronting this police state. And I cleared it with the young man on the screen with us. I just wanted to make sure. We're going to go all the way back to Chicago, putting that story behind us. We're going back up to Chi-Town. It's was it a summer day? Was it a summer day? Because you were in a tank top.
July.
Yeah, you were in a tank top flexing them guns. It was a hot summer day in Chicago, and this young brother was standing up on behalf of marginalized communities, on behalf of black people, protesting face to face with the police, and this is what ultimately got you in all the trouble that you had to face as a political prisoner. Is this the one?
Well, I didn't really do what they said that I did. So, but here on video, I was definitely turning up, but they caused it. So you'll see that in the video.
Let's take a look at the footage.
Don't touch him. 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 Don't touch him.
Now that's you up top with the tank top.
Trying to calm everybody down. I have 5,000 people with me.
What else is going on here, man? Tell us what else.
So this racist Devereaux is trying to get me down. I'm telling him, just chill out. Let me calm everybody down so I can get them in order. And he yanks me down.
Oh. Here you go, right there. Oh, yep. And because you are a human being.
Yep.
Wow, he didn't.
He could have hurt you.
Yes, he didn't care the way that he pulled you down.
Nope. He could have hurt me. And so, we turned up. And from then on, I shut down the whole downtown, all of the shopping district. I said, all right, y'all want to do this? Bet. I got something for y'all. And but yeah, Devereaux is his name. He still is on the force, but no, I think he just retired last year. But he's just he's one of the most racist officers on the force. There's a lot of, what I used to do, what I started doing, right? What used to kill him is the officers that were at our protests. I have a portal that I can go in and put their badge number in and get every allegation, every suspension, anything that they've ever done as a police officer. So I would go, and I'll see how these officers acting, and then I go to their badge number and pull them up, and I say, 34 allegations, y'all. racism.
No, they don't like that.
Oh man, I used to put them on blast in front of everybody. Like, and
no, that's
they used to hate it.
That's the junk right there. No, that should be standard operating procedures.
Standard operating procedure. That is here in Chicago.
Can you pull them up? Like, can you pull them up on your mobile device and like you get somebody badge number in real time and pull that up?
In real time.
Okay.
That's how we did it.
Look,
in real time.
folks,
go straight to my mobile device and boop, 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 and be like, we look at it. Hey, everybody, calm down. Let me tell you about this officer in front of us. He has 5 different complaints of racism.
Oh, wow.
You know, and he just got to sit there and we getting, they be getting red.
Man.
You know, we put him on blast. We say, and he's still on the force.
With the megaphone and all.
With the megaphone and all.
Please spread that around the country. That is standard operating procedures going forward. And as far as I know, it could be standard operating procedures for a lot of cities.
No, we gangster here in Chicago. We always set the tone. Playing. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
We don't play.
Bro, my memory completely redid that video in my head, right? In my head, I remembered, like, I just rewrote it. I don't know where I got this thing that's in my head because it's clearly not what we just saw in the video. In my head, I just visualized you jumping over a whole line of people and, like, just getting into the mix.
Now they pulled brother down.
They pulled
me down. Yeah. And then when I came down, there was a little conflict. Yeah, no, but they didn't arrest me then. They didn't arrest me then for that. So, I was arrested hours later. They pushed me in a paddy wagon, like, another officer pushed me in a paddy wagon and drove off, you know what I'm saying, while nobody was looking. Like, so I was kidnapped really by the police. And so what they did was they started to go back to the videos and photos. I even had a racist journalist give them his photography photos that he did for a paper. Like, and they went through all of the different evidence to say, oh, it looked like he touched him here. It looked like he was this close here. You say he did this. You say he did that. And that's kind of how that happened. But I wasn't arrested there at that time.
Wow. And that's where you became the political prisoner and they hit you with $350,000.
$350,000.
That's crazy.
Man, 9 months of staying under there until Kim Foxx got in as a state's attorney. But it was a hard fault, but I was definitely able to see the justice system head on. I did some hard time, y'all.
You did 9 months?
No, I did 3 days, but 9 months was.
I was like, you said you did. He talking like it's some hard time. I did. Now you done hard time on them streets, the activism work. I'm thinking like you were
3 days is a hard time, y'all.
Hey, bro, and 9 months. That stress for 9 months is a hard. Like that's hard time. I understand. Like you probably had ulcers and everything, but 3 days, okay.
They made me drunk. Like I ain't never did drugs.
I haven't done 3 hours, so I ain't even gonna say that.
And test for drugs and everything. Like I ain't never done drugs just for me to like move around, travel, like do any speaking engagements. Like they were making me like, all right, you got to come in.
Oh, now they
once a month to test, and
the feds was watching.
Judge got to sign off.
Don't test my blood.
That's crazy.
Don't test my blood. I ain't getting
No, but that sucks that you had to walk around like and live in that way, almost like what we see in our former activists and things like that. Once you're in jail, once you're targeted one time, they're gonna try to make your life miserable, even though you literally have a clean slate. The only thing that you're doing is fighting for justice, and they looked at that to be such a crime. So now, because you had the nerve to challenge them, they are going to make sure they make your life a living hell, or try to make your life a living hell afterwards, and make you want to give up the fight. And I see that a lot. I seen that in how they did. If they can't do that, they're going to try to kill you, and that's what sucks about it. Which I pray that God continues to protect you as you.
And let me say who saved me, and who while I love Black women so much, it was a Black woman who saved me. And if we did not caress a whole movement behind this Black woman who a state's attorney, never been Black, incumbent has never been beaten since the 18, whatever. Like, so it was unheard of that we had a movement of organizations, everybody all throughout the city, like we getting this state's attorney out, and we were able to unseat then state's attorney Nita Alvarez with Kim Foxx. And if that did not happen, who knows where I'll be today. I'm sure Nita Alvarez wouldn't have dropped no charges, because she was the one who put them false charges on me. So what happened to my video again? There we go. So I think it times out sometime. But anyway, but she was the one who put those charges on me. So she would have definitely made me probably go to trial and fight 9 felony counts and all of, like, who knows what happened. It would have got ugly. So.
See, they try to crush you first with that bail, man, and that's how that's why we're fighting across the country. People are fighting against cash bail, period. But $350,000.
$350,000. Yep.
That was a political statement against your life, and then just to think about it, probably would have cost you a cool $1 million, $2 million to be able to fight that trial, right? To fight the charges against you, and I mean they really came to destroy your life, brother. So I'm just glad that you beat it. You know what I mean?
Yep. We hit a day. It's time to cause some more trouble.
Tupac and what's Tupac and Snoop Dogg's song, Bubba, the one where you got up fresh out of jail. Two of America's most wanted. You one of America's most wanted, man, and you beat the system, man. And so we salute you. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, more likely than not, we got a couple more stories that we want to get everybody's input on. J Maul, stay with us as long as you can. We'll be right back after this.
First time I saw you, I knew all the time. It was something in the air that night, and in the way you looked at me. I get nervous when you get close and my heart fills up with butterflies, and then you leave me speechless. My world turned upside down. Just say that you won't go and break my heart. Break my heart.
What's up to everybody in the chat room?
Remember, it's the only one I've got.
Make sure that y'all are hitting that like button, y'all. Hit that like button, hit that like button.
Don't break my heart. Don't break my heart. Don't break my heart. Wanna tell you how I feel instead of keeping it all inside.
Black Butterfly, thank you for your super chat. Pieces of her, we appreciate you.
I've tried when you're near me.
Alicia, good morning. Melanie, good morning.
My world turned upside down. Just say that you won't go and break my heart. Break my heart. Don't break it now. Remember, it's the only one I've got. The one I've got. Don't break my heart. 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 Just say that you won't go and break my heart. Break my heart. Don't break my heart. Remember, it's the only one I've got. The one I've got. Don't break my heart. Just say that you won't go and break my heart. Break my heart.
I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm Still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Make me put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like chemo. Ain't give a F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Tryna earn 8 stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a keto. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque o no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Y'all just talk, don't live it. And just took that route, that seen it. I'm so outspoken like Reason. Jimmy Neutron, boy, young G's. And I'm a self-made man out of Sweden. And it's still off top, I'm tweaking. But I still gotta fight my demons. I ain't no good, I'm evil. I ain't been clean since Eden. It's a war going on outside. Make you put your hands on your head like the Macarena. That's why I gotta watch my demeanor. You know they locking up blacks and Latinos. It's the same old game, ain't nothing really changed but the mileage on the meter of the Beamer. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a keto. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer.
Right.
Dímelo porque o no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus.
No.
Real blood, I never seen the
I wish that's what it was. I need to right now, honestly. Nah, my best friend died yesterday, so just kind of feeling it right now.
Oh man, yeah, James. You know what, man?
Old college roommate, so just kind of fucked up in the head right now. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Not gonna lie to y'all.
We
Sorry to
our
hear that.
condolences, man. A Wildcat. We lost one yesterday, and I didn't know he was your roommate, man.
Yeah, for several years. That was like,
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that, Bubba.
Yeah, man. And you know
Same.
what, bro? Like, listen, one, we appreciate you for just even being on the screen right now, man. And listen, if you need, bro, like, by all means, like, take some time, brother. So, we can get the 3-shot ready and just let you do what you got to do, man.
Take a breathe again.
Yeah,
Please.
because that's fresh and that's heavy. But
Man, I know how that
do
feel.
want to send up some love in the chat room, y'all.
Please.
For James,
Please.
it's been
Some
an
hearts.
extremely hard week in general, but the last 24 hours for our brother has been really, really tough. And I knew Alvin, but I didn't know him clearly as well as James did. But it's just been this last year, y'all. If there's one year that I wish that never happened, it would be 2020 to 2021. These last couple of 12 months has been all the way around the board. It's just been really, really, really tough. So that said, I just want to love and solidarity to our brother and to Alvin and his family and to all the Wildcats that are mourning this morning. We love y'all and just hang in there. And so, I mean, at these moments like this, that's all you really do. But also, I just want y'all to just show extra love in all the chat rooms. Twitch, show your love. Facebook, Twitter. We ain't on Instagram, but y'all gonna see this after the fact. Instagram, put something in the chat room and just show y'all love for our brother. Because, man, we love you. We certainly love you and support you, man.
And yeah, we want you to make sure you get your healing, and yeah.
I appreciate that, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's important, man. And it's gonna take some time. You know what I'm saying? I still, to this day, as you know, Ben, Erica Garner was one of my close friends. And, it's still today hard for me, especially when I hear something that she liked or see her face. So anybody out there that's going through this, man, we definitely send our love to you. And we know it's going to take you some time, but you're going to get through it.
Yeah.
You'll always remember.
Man, we, Rebecca and I, my memory is just shot to pieces, man. I forgot how close you were to Erica, but y'all were like thick as thieves. Like y'all were like side by side, peas in a pod, fighting these fights, man. And Rebecca and I actually, we had the unfortunate, but also privilege of being, I think, if not the last interview that she did, one of the last interviews that she did. And she just had this grace about her. You know what I mean? She had this clarity about her purpose. But you also could see the pain. You could also see how hard she was fighting in these streets. And so we out here taking real
super
scars
chills right now.
She
Man,
mentioned
real.
in that, she mentioned in that interview that, because I asked her, I was like, it's a lot of activists who go out and, give up the fight because it's too much on them. And she was like, they want her. She feels like they want her to die. It's like they're putting so much on her, but she's going to continue to do that fight. And she was talking about, her being a new mother at the time. And that, it was a lot. And I was just like, wow. And only to find out that it got to her. Like this thing ain't no joke. That's all I'm going to understand. This fight is no joke.
I did Chris Hayes a week. So I was in New York a week before she went into the coma. And we were supposed to hang out. She went to Philly. She calling me. You know what I'm saying? But I was only there for a day. I was there to do Chris Hayes again, right? So one of his other shows. And I'm like, I'm only here for a night. So her phone ended up going dead. And I end up just, going back home. And so she ended up calling me the next day, like, man, my phone went dead, but I'm going to just come to Chicago. And a couple of days later, she was in a coma, and it hurts, it still hurts me to this day. It gave me chills when we even started talking about her because she really was a powerhouse and she's really, really missed. And I just know so much that people don't know about her. Her daily life. And, you talked about her being a new mother and she went through a lot. There's so much people don't know. She went through a lot, man. And for them to just find something in her heart, a couple months before and she, have an asthma attack and go like that. How she did was just, it was insane. Man. So I definitely know how it feels, man.
Whew, and it was right around Christmas, right? It was right around Christmas to add the salt to the open wound. But you know what, man? One thing, this is why my entire approach to this fight has changed. What we're fighting for hasn't changed, but the way we fight, I had to change because it's not just that they will kill us literally.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Medgar Evers, Fred Hampton, King, X, the list goes on and on, Emmett, right? They will kill us literally, but I noticed that they will create the conditions for us to destroy ourselves because we're fighting so intensely. Yeah. And the stress. And this is why that clip of Sharon Osbourne and Cheryl Underwood ran my blood pressure up because Cheryl Underwood was internalizing all of that anger that was rightfully should have been displayed toward that racist ass woman, right? But that's what we have to do in this country. We consistently have to internalize our grief, our anger, our suffering, and that kills you. That kills you in the long run, man. And so like the way I got to fight going forward is by making sure this fight is surrounded by love. Yes. And this fight is surrounded by joy and that this fight is surrounded by friends. You know what I mean? That's why like people like, well, Ben, why you got all these people in chat? Because I need my friends around me. Like straight up, like I need to be around good people who have kind hearts, who want to do something good for the people. Because if we're out here by ourselves, they'll kill us. And it ain't always a sniper's rifle that does it. It's most of the time it's just the goddamn stress, man.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. James, it's okay to crowd here, man. You and me and James, we reading in the chat room. Me and James, man, we've been two big ass dudes on this screen. We done cried before, bro. So it's okay.
I swear to y'all, like when I say like I'm getting like super chills right now. Like we just went through all that, right? And like why a picture just fell in my office. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? I'm just like
Look, I feel it. I get it. And it's like we get messages and signs. I believe in that so much.
Yeah.
And
that just
is
now
that
at
the
this
noise we just
time,
heard?
A picture will fall. Yeah. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's like we get the messages like, hey, I hear you. I feel you. I'm here.
I feel
and,
you. Yeah.
And usually stuff that would be scary, but when you feel a sense of peace or understanding, you know, my Haitian behind and Save behind, because Save Black folks have that too. Be like, that was
I got a little bit of all that in me. A little bit of superstition and a little bit of Jesus.
That was such and such. But we get that confirmation and it feels good to us. So if ever you guys lost somebody, man, if ever you guys like whatever it is, and I know sometimes it feels like you'll sit there and be like, damn, that person is really gone. It's okay to show your emotions, even as a Black male.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're two big Black men, Ben, or a small young Black brother like J Maul. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you guys can show your emotions. This is our truth. Like I said, this 2020 to 2021 to whatever has been good and bad, but we've had so many fights that we have to fight, especially with what we're choosing to do now, which is fight for our people to be free. That's and we, unfortunately, we may never see the total 100% freedom in our lifetime, which sucks to say, but we're fighting this fight knowing that it's something that we want to do, whether or not we may see it all the way to freedom where we're 100% free. But it wears and tears on us on top of our personal losses.
All the stuff you're going through on your own. Like, I want to cut you off, Rebecca, because I think about the stuff that you know, as my sister, I get a little bit of what you go through. And you go through it here, you go through it there, and then you out here with this politics thing. And I just look at, like, all of us, we got so many. I said it a long time ago, and I think the best way to finish it up is just to say it's a catalog of trauma, man. We just have a catalog of every single day. Sometimes just getting out of the bed, realizing you ain't got money to make it to the end of the month. That kind of stress right there. Let me tell y'all, like, there's been very few occasions in my life when I thought that it would have been better off without me here. And it's always been tied to the fact that like I ain't got the money. I ain't got the money to cover this. I ain't got the money to take care. And then it's just like that kind of grief on a daily basis. And watch what we do. Look what James did this morning. And he did this out of love for us, and he did this out of love for the show and out of love for you and the audience. But that brother compartmentalized his trauma and came to work.
And that's what we're taught to do
every day.
That's what we are taught to do.
You said something earlier in the show, man. You talked about how Black people are so forgiving. This all like ties into each other because we forgive everybody. We take all of that hurt, man, and we just bottle it up. While going through everything that we go through. I mean, I went through hell in activism community, man, growing up. And, to know my personal problems, like I was having kids at the time, like, financial problems, like, we go through our own problems, still fighting these systems that are oppressing us, knowing that it shouldn't be this way. You know what I'm saying? And so, I definitely, it's definitely painful, but, we gotta keep going for our kids' sake. Speaking of, get my son going to school.
Look at that boy. They look just like you. High top fade and all.
Oh, y'all got kids. But me, look, come on, baby.
Nah, you say that like, don't say that. I'm telling you. But you probably get big. I was going to say, if you say that on air, you're going to get all these people jumping in your DMs, but I'm sure they flood in your DMs anyway. So you ain't even got to say that on air. You still jumping in your DMs. One day, one of these shows, it'll be that way. I really absolutely being in this pandemic, and it's not because I'm 30, because I'm still young and fresh, and you know what I mean. But at the same time, it's like being in this pandemic and seeing all that's happened, and I'm like, dang, you don't know. Life is crazy. Life is ridiculous. I don't
before I was like, I didn't want any kids because I was being vain when I was younger. And then I got through the phase of, okay, I don't want to bring kids into this world like this. And then I thought about, damn, this pandemic is taking everybody. Like, it's taking everybody in two ways for us. If we're out here protesting, we don't know if we're going to come home from the protest. Then with coronavirus, we're marginalized when it comes to getting our health care. Well, so things like that are happening. And I'm like, Lord, I want to make sure that I have my little big head, little thing walking around in this world.
Because they're going to have a big head.
He's going to have
a long
face.
Inspector Gadget had that.
Yes.
And a lot of hair everywhere.
a lot of hair.
That baby going to come out with a full mustache.
Yes, my nephews came out with full mustaches, so I can't. But a lot of hair on the head too. Babies ain't going to be bald head.
Come out speaking Creole.
But yeah, I do. I see that a lot. I admire, and I know some people don't want kids. And at one point, I didn't want kids. But
man, I just had this conversation with my friend literally yesterday. She's like, I don't want to have no kids. And, really everything you just said is the conversation that we just had. Like, I feel like, man, what and who are we going to leave, to keep our legacy going? I think, we have I ain't gonna say we have an obligation because some people don't have to have kids, but I just feel like, we all have something to give. And if we give it to somebody that we have responsibility over, that will really admire us, and we give them, our legacy, our love, our fight, everything in us, they'll continue it if anything happens to us. So kids are definitely important to Black people, because this fight, has to continue. And unfortunately, why are we today and still fighting the same issues 100 years ago?
Bruh, that's what blows me.
It blows.
I listen to Malcolm and I listen to and I'm like, we still fighting the same damn
It's
fights.
crazy.
Yep.
It's
so who gonna lead this? Who gonna keep it going?
Yeah, and a lot of them, this is what I say, a lot of them, when I go and I do my research and we talk about them, Ben, we did our whole, Black History Month. And it was like, what they've taught us about a lot of these people is surface level. But when we go into their stories and we start really breaking down the things that they were fighting for in their music, whether it was in their sport and whatever, something broke them to the point where they had to even leave America to spend the end of their days somewhere else. Because it's not that they felt defeated, but it just felt like a change wasn't going to come. But then after they've gone and passed, they didn't know the impact of their work would be at least somewhere. And it may not have been like such a huge change compared to what we need, but it's impacted us to keep on going. So
we're so far, man.
Go ahead, Jamal.
We're so far behind, Ben. Like, we've allowed them, man, so many years to get so far ahead and create all these systems and take down the people that they had to take down so that they can have the time to really build this infrastructure to oppress us. And it's so hard. Like right now, I'm leading the economic movement. And, I'm sure, like last year I fought Chase Bank, who was only lending to Black communities 1.9% at a time. You know what I'm saying? And we fought them and got $1 billion for South and West sides of Chicago. But like, when you look at economics, we got 2% of wealth. Like 30% of Black people own their homes to 71% of white people who own theirs. Like, when you really look at the wealth gap, when you look at, man, in every area, Black people are so behind that you're like, man, if we could get this 2% of wealth to 10, that's a jump. But still at 10, that's still not enough. So how do we really push the needle, man, to get to where we need to be? And it's really going to take a lot of folks like all of us to continue this and really jump on board. But it's going to take some time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody in the chat room, particularly on YouTube, who are sending all of these super chats. Don't worry, I'm going to make sure Bubba gets the super chats. But thank y'all for showing that love. And also shout out to Diallo, who sent me a name of someone we need to get on the show, Dr. Joy. I'm thinking Degree. I know I can't pronounce names until somebody give it to me, but she has a book called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. And Diallo was saying that her work speaks to everything that we're talking about, how this internalized trauma. This trauma that we internalize. And in terms of kids, I'll say this about my kids and kids in general, but what it does for me. My kids are the only reason, literally, that I'm probably alive right now. Because it was the protest here during the summer for George Floyd that really something did snap in me. And you could like listen to my work and you could see something snap. Like I was ready. All these people talking about, like all these people, podcasters generally just talk about the revolution. For me, when they did that to George Floyd, that was it. Man. That was it. It was like, it was time. And the only thing besides my wife that kept me from going out there with weapons was my daughter. And she just said, Daddy, please don't go. Now, on the flip side of it, we got to get this country right before my kids grow up, because they are so far more advanced in their demands for liberation of all people. When my son sees a homeless person, he not only gets sad, he gets angry. My daughter heard about what's happening at Amazon, and she wants to know where Jeff Bezos lives, right? So we got to get this thing together before our kids get older, because this next generation ain't playing the fan, man. They ain't not playing. I
was talking about police reform. Police officers got body cameras at Taser Chicago because I was leading protests around Emmanuel's house. And today, I look at this next generation, they like, man, no, we ain't doing none of that reform stuff. Abolish this. We got to start over. I'm like, man, like, okay, I'm with that. You know, this new generation is not playing. We
ain't asking to defund. They saying abolish.
Right. Abolish. Defund is just like the good term for them to at least feel like we gonna make a step towards abolishing. But you know, they
reform it a little bit. Just change a little something about it.
A little rip on the edges.
You know, put on some new uniform. That's
for kick that door open, man.
Generation Z
is
listen. And let me say this to all the millennials, please. Let me from an older millennial. Like I'm just barely. I might be a millennial by 1 month. Hang on,
I'm the realest millennial up here.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this to you.
Millennial.
I'm mainly a generation Gen X, right? But let me just say, y'all, millennials, let it go.
I thought you was a baby boomer.
No, don't do that. We will not let it go, because at the end of the day, a lot of these platforms that were built, a lot of the fights that started the way, because Gen X tried to, they kind of dropped the ball because they got they plateaued somewhere. But the millennials
dropped the ball.
The millennials came through.
We didn't drop the ball.
We picked it up.
My dude.
100%. Gen X dropped the ball.
I said what people.
How do we buy? Wait. How we drop the ball?
They get tired.
How do we drop the ball?
You dropped it a little bit, and you rolled it over.
Wait.
Into
Which
the
ball?
millennial yard.
Which ball?
We picked it up.
Which ball?
We picked it up.
Which ball?
And
we built this shit.
Everyone.
Wait, we literally these platforms that y'all are using, y'all innovated.
We made it fresh. We kept it going.
Right.
So what?
Y'all innovated.
Listen, right now. We're not
y'all
gonna
made
do this
great
right now on air.
Hang on. Let me just give you how I see it. Like, literally, our generation was the people who actually built. Like, there was no internet for everybody. That we started building that. We started capitalizing on. We started structuring it. Y'all came along and innovative for sure. But what I'm trying to tell y'all, wait. Let me just finish this. Y'all innovative and y'all made it pop.
Being disrespectful.
See, know what it is you're getting old. And it's hard. It's hard to accept that you're getting old, and it's another generation's time to shine.
Jamal just gave credit to Generation Z. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
He just gave credit. But here you are.
But you got some energy behind this.
Really a millennial.
I'm both.
The millennial.
I'm not trying to knock. I'm trying to give y'all.
And we've been through a lot.
Rebecca, I'm just trying to give y'all.
Traumatized. Still out here.
I'm trying to give y'all a piece of advice.
Jamal, this is what I go through every show, Jamal.
No, don't take us to break. Don't take us to break.
Settle this. Can I settle this?
Go ahead. Let's see if you can settle it.
Let me say this. Listen, there were some Gen Xers who tried. But the reality is, it wasn't until millennials stepped up that we started to really move the needle forward. Gen X is not the only, they were starting maybe at the edge of Gen X going into millennials, like you, Ben, you're there on the cusp somewhere, right?
Right there on the
barely.
But
listen, if I was a boomer, I'd be proud. I'm cool, Rebecca. But you're the only one dealing with getting old. I'm already old.
But look, listen. So but the generations before, like we got like I want to say we got at least a good 30-year gap where I think Black folks were like too comfortable and there were not enough leadership to really move the needle. Millennials kind of start kicking that door open, and Gen Z gonna run through it. Maybe on the cusp of Gen X, but millennials are the ones who really.
But let me drop this. Let me drop this on you. Hang on, Rebecca. You've been talking. Give me a second to get a second in. Jesus, Mary and Joseph, Christ on the cross. That's the
Mary had a little lamb.
Oh, Mary. Listen, this is what I'm saying. Like before, I don't even know what's before Gen X, because it's not baby boomers. There's something in between Gen X and baby boomers, and I'm not even sure who it is. But y'all got to understand. There was literally nothing. When they killed the progressive movement and they gunned it down, like the liberation movement, they gunned it down in the streets and there was nothing. There were no like large national scale movements. There were no, you know what I mean? Like I'll give you an example. When I went to college, I had to ask professors, where can I learn about like socialism, communism? Where can I learn about revolutionary stuff? And you know what they said? They said, communism lost, so we're not teaching it here. That was the nature of the system that our generation was born into. And you know what happened? We went and found it for ourselves, and we went and learned it for ourselves. And we created these conversations in these spaces that now everybody else can jump in and just are the people in Generation X right there on the cusp, and probably some older folks than me. There's more people. I mean, think about it. I think about Professor Jared Ball. That brother is a lot older than me, but he's been revolutionary the whole time. And he created an environment in his classrooms at Morgan State University where people can come in and actually get that knowledge. So what I'm saying is, it's not that any generation dropped the ball. It's that every generation has to hand the ball off to the next generation. And that's really all I was saying, Rebecca. It's like the advice that I got for y'all. We did, and they handed it off to because you got to understand. They shot the ball down. Like, where were you going to go? Tell me, where were y'all in 1992?
So Ben.
No, really, answer that. And where were y'all in 92?
In my daddy's sack at the moment.
Yeah, you're right. You weren't even born. Rebecca was 2, right?
Yeah.
And there was literally no nationwide movement. But when Rodney King got beat down, the people stood up and initiated right then, right there, and they moved into action. And then, but before that, there was nothing. There was nothing except for some distinguished scholars who kept the revolutionary spirit alive. And what I'm saying is, Gen X picked up the ball, and then they handed it off to millennials for sure.
That's why he said 92.
Can I
right
talk
on that
now?
cusp then.
Yeah, sure, Rebecca. I'm just saying, hand the ball off to Gen Z.
I'm not saying that we're not. So what we're doing is handing the ball off and working with, actually, because we still are in a state, because the generational gap now has become very shorter. So we're still working hand in hand with each other. There's no issue there. What I'm saying is, when I say drop the ball, Jamal said it correctly. It's almost like there was a plateau that happened. Yes, Rodney King happened and the people went out into the streets. See, I remember that because my father told me about it, and I seen it still happening. They would still play it on documentaries that my dad would watch. So that was something that I understood when I did get old enough to understand. But there was a moment where it just became comfortable. Black folks were okay. It almost seemed as if black folks were okay with what was going on. There was no taking to the streets anymore. It was just, let's go to this job, let's do this, let's just make sure we are in our own little spaces, in our own little corners, and not really fight these fights like we had to get back over there. And that's when I say drop the ball. Not really drop the ball, just left it where it was. It rolled into the another generation's area, and we picked it up and had to do what we had to do with that. And it's not. There's so many arguments and conversations that are happening on social media saying this one and this one and that and that. If we just kind of whirl hand in hand, like the millennials are trying to do with the other two, just kind of like not be looked at as, we don't need millennials no more, y'all time was gone. No, we're still here. We're still young. We're still doing this fight. So it's like we all can work together and just get this done. But there's so much.
It's okay. It's totally okay. It's okay. Go ahead, J-Ball. What's up?
Serious.
Yeah, what's up?
Let's be serious here. The reality of the situation is millennials were still fighting Gen X to get them to see what we wanted them to see. Millennials challenge every system. Millennials was like, no, I don't want to do
Give me an
this.
example.
No, I don't want to go to college and be in all this debt. No, you have to go to school. No, I don't have. Like, we fighting past generations from Gen X and boomers, all of them. We was fighting all of the generations. I don't think there was like right now, millennials teaching Gen Z, and like we are like guiding them on into their radical future. Like, we're there.
Proudly.
We're like, no, this is the correct way to be going after, because y'all don't want to go through what we went through. Gen X wasn't doing that. Gen X was still at them jobs. Gen X was still.
It's because we had to literally build it from nothing. There was nothing before us. And the reason there was nothing before us isn't, I'm not saying that to insult the generation before me. I'm saying but
you have to
killed it. They gunned it down in the streets. There was a far more, I'll put it like this, millennials, which I'm barely one, but I am one. We ain't doing nothing that wasn't happening, popping in the 60s. And like you said, we fighting the same fights. You said that earlier. We fighting the same fights that Malcolm was fighting.
About in the
Why
70s
we hang on one second.
and-
Why? That's because they gunned down everybody. COINTELPRO, they flooded our streets with crack cocaine, man.
Yes,
we had more
definitely.
people on crack cocaine than we had in colleges.
100%.
We had more black men in jail than we had in colleges. We had more black men in jail than we had on the jobs. You know what I mean? And so we were in survival mode. And when I say we, I'm talking about the generation before me, in pure survival mode. Some people thrived. Some people got the Cosby life, but most of us didn't. And what we had to do was to pick up from the shattered pieces from what this country did to the real revolutionary generation. They killed it. They murdered it. Blood on the streets. And
so
from
are you
we
okay
picked
with
up the
saying there
ball.
weren't a lot of real revolutionaries in Gen X and the previous generation?
Well, yeah, because that's the way it has to be, and that's what I'm saying.
It had to be in that time.
It has to. No. It has to be an evolution. I want millennials who are way younger than me. I need y'all to be far more revolutionary, right?
Yes.
You know why? Because we were not afforded the opportunity, because we had to go and find books. I had to go to a goddamn library to look up the Communist Manifesto. Because one, the internet wasn't popping like that for real.
That's
and then
what I was
two,
just about to say.
they weren't teaching it in school. So I had to go to a physical library. You guys have at your disposal so much more information. So we need y'all to be more revolutionary. And all I'm saying is,
we didn't have any of that. We didn't have any of that.
I agree with you, Ben. You get
agree
like
with
I
that.
get what you're saying 100%. That's not what I'm saying though. Like, everything you're saying is correct, but you said there has to be an evolution, and that's what I'm saying. There had to be an evolution. There was sometimes when there's so much work going on, or what you guys felt like this was enough, or can't nothing be done. It kind of plateaued. It was like, we got to make sure we're sticking here. You said you had to get your information. Y'all had to do that. That had to happen. But for us to come and get that ball that was sitting there and do what we need to do with it. Millennials, we had it where we were just coming into internet. I remember when there was no internet, no computer in my home or anything. We still had to go to the libraries. We have a mix of all that in our lifetime. So it's kind of like, it's not that we're trying to knock it, but there's just so much of this right now, this idea, which I don't like, that's trying to discount millennials in this moment and only speak of the power of generation X and generation.
no, nobody talk about Generation X like that though. It's Generation
right now,
X.
Ben, we went through all of those things too, though. We went through all those things too.
And
Like,
listen, I just want the people who are watching, if you go back and listen to the start of this entire conversation, it was this. It was this. Me giving a piece of advice to millennials, which is really, y'all let Generation Z, let them shine, push them on. Because what I'm seeing on the internet is just so 100%. Many millennials putting out these videos of, oh, I'm still important. Oh, I'm still cool. And I'm like, no. You actually look kind of whack. Just grow old gracefully. Gracefully. Let your gray hairs come in.
It's like we're getting that because we're being told to shut up and get out the way.
I don't think anybody say that is crazy.
No, that's literally the conversation. And it's so funny because just 3-4 years ago, it was, or maybe 5 years ago, I should say, it was millennials are going to be the people to do it. Millennials are going to be the people to get this ball moving. It's because of millennials. That was a conversation, but all of a sudden, it became get the hell out of the way and let Generation Z do it.
That's what generations do. That's what generations do.
But actually, because the generational gap has gotten so small, we're still dealing with the same things. Let's just be hand in hand. Yes, you guys are younger. Yes, we're giving you guys the ball. Yes, we're passing the torch to you, but we're still fighting the same fight. Even with you being literally on the cusp, one day old, Generation X, like we all are fighting the same fight. Hand in hand, we are. But J-Maw is a father.
Don't be the person.
You guys are going through the same thing when it comes to that, right? It doesn't matter what age you are. That's just what it is. Let's just
don't be the old person on the porch saying, "Get off my lawn," because that's what y'all sound like.
No, but that's not. You sound like
definitely
somebody
not. I'm not. I mentor Gen Z. You know,
let them ride. Let them shine.
Let them shine. I got so many people who reach out to me to this day, and you got to mentor them, and who want to know more about how I do journalism and how I got here and what school I went to and things like that. That is my job when it comes to that, and I do that all the time. And there are so many other millennials that are doing that as well, and we still share the same similar experiences as well. So, and that's what that is. It's almost like they're saying that we have no place to speak, and like, I'm only 30 years old. Like, J-Maw's only 25. Understand that. Like, we're still young in this thing. So
I
it's
speak
almost
to
like
several schools a week, man. All Gen Zers, you know, and this is what I preach about and talk about, you know, and I pushed them. Man. I push them. Even my mentees who lead the fight here on protests, you know, well, I'm kind of still on the cusp too, at the end of millennials. And so,
yes, you are.
You know, I got a close relationship with
you
Z.
right there on the edge.
Yeah, I'm right on the edge, but you know, I'm definitely, I consider myself a millennial. But you know, we got to push the next generation like that. They didn't do that for us. Gen X didn't really do that for us. And it's okay. We're here today. So Ben, we're not going after you. I just because
generation
before that. But
hang on. Because I want to contextualize everything. We got a guest that's been in the waiting room for 15 minutes. I'm gonna say this: go back to the beginning of this conversation and listen to what set it all off. Because all I said was millennials. Let Gen Z have some. Let them have it. 100%. And Rebecca was like, "Oh hell no!" That's all I said.
No, that's not. Don't do that.
There's a DVR. There's a DVR on YouTube.
That's fine. But what I said was, don't say that, because when you do say that, you literally add to that conversation as if we're not giving them space to do what they need to do. We are.
Well,
that's not the case.
I tell you what. Then what we're gonna do is we'll bring in all the videos
because you say things like that, and that's not the case. Generation Z
there
is
are
somebody
plenty.
that we are giving space to.
Rebecca, it's like you're saying not all. It's like saying not all men. Of course, you're not literally doing it, but there are just so many videos. Go to TikTok.
But you're saying like
wait a minute, Becca. Wait a minute.
Like you're saying it's all millennials.
No, whoever says
TikTok, man.
Jesus Christ, go to TikTok and look at all of the really sad videos from millennials who are fussing at Generation Z, and I'm like, y'all just let them. Let Generation Z be Generation Z. Oh my God, it is ridiculous. It's so many videos.
You don't see it because you know who's doing it? White people who are bored at home. That's literally the only people you see in these videos.
That's different.
And what I'm trying to tell Ben is, we all in different boxes. There's different people. We all in different spaces. There's like, let it go.
Okay.
I just really
How much do you be on TikTok to even be watching these videos, Ben?
Unfortunately, my wife is on TikTok all the damn time. So please, for the love of God, if we can get rid of TikTok, that'd be a blessing. All right, let's do this. We have a guest who has been so patient through the last 18 minutes of all this. But instead of going to a break, let's just bring him up on the screen, because I got something that we all. Oh, we don't have him. Okay. Okay, so bring them in when you get them. But we're going to start with this clip of Steven Crowder, and I just want y'all to watch it. It's a little tough to watch, right? But I want you to take a look at it and see. Well, go ahead, Dwayne. Okay, so we need one song, and then when we come back, we're going to have this clip of Steven Crowder, and we want to talk about how these algorithms push people towards this level of racism. We'll be back after this.
You better leave me alone. I'm gonna miss you, but I'll be gone.
thank you to everybody out there, man, that showed your support, y'all. I greatly appreciate y'all. And I love y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for everything. I appreciate y'all.
It gets me 'cause there is no doubt. There is something about you. Thought I was nothing without you. You made me beg and you made me crawl. You played me and you made me fall for you. It's sad but true. You're no good, still I'm loving you. But I made up my mind.
My pleasure, Justin. My pleasure. Hey, I love y'all too, man. Thank y'all again.
Leave me alone. I miss you, but I'm sick and tired of loving you. I don't know why, just know that I do. Please leave me alone. I'm gonna miss you, but I'll be gone. You know I don't.
Brian Smith, good morning, sir. What's going on, man?
But there is something about you.
Esther, thank you so much.
Even shout. You left me hanging down and out. I think you never leave me, but you cheated and deceived me. You never cared for me at all. You had me at your beck and call. It's true, I'm a sucker for you. You're no good, still I'm loving you. But I made up my mind.
Make sure that y'all hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Make sure that you comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, y'all. It's like it or not.
No, you better leave me alone. I miss you, but I'm sick and tired of loving you. I don't know why, just know that I do. Please leave me alone. I'm gonna miss you, but I'll be home. I sure will miss you. I am home. I'm gonna miss you. I'll be gone. I sure will miss you. I am gone. I'm gonna miss you. For you, sad but true. You're no good, still I'm loved.
Barbara, I appreciate y'all too. Thank y'all so much again.
But I made up my mind. I'm gonna pack my bags, I'll walk out the door. I won't be back, you'll see me no more. No, you better leave me alone.
I don't know where you find this many farmers of color, but they did, and $5.2 billion are being allocated exclusively for colored farmers. Farmers of color, roll the tape.
We begin today's show looking at a major provision in President Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill that aims to address decades of discrimination against Black, Hispanic, Native American, and Asian American farmers who've historically been excluded from government agricultural programs. The American Rescue Plan sets aside $10.4 billion for agriculture support and allocates about half the funds to farmers of color who are, quote, subjected to racial or ethnic prejudice because of their identity as members of a group, unquote. The U.S. Commission on Civil Rights confirmed as long ago as 1965 the U.S. Department of Agriculture discriminated against Black farmers, but little was done to address the problem.
100 years ago? Yeah, most happy about the new policy, these people. So, yeah. I'm gonna buy a plow, man!
I'm gonna plant that corn.
Go get a John Deere. Barack Obama, I'm the president of plowing that ass.
You.
I thought the last thing they would want to do is be farmers. Wasn't that a big problem for hundreds of years?
Yeah. Isn't that why Arsenio Hall called himself the urban man's Johnny Carson?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Are people lining up out in the middle of cornfield, Iowa for new dunks?
How would you prove this, by the way? Like, how would you prove that you've been discriminated
You don't
against?
have to, you just
Well, I didn't
say
get that
so.
loan. Sir, you had no credit. Well, that should not have stopped me from getting the loan.
I planted a Hennessy tree, but it's not growing.
Well, technically it did grow, but that shit ain't XO.
I put it in the ground.
I planted a VSOP
Is this for
XO
real?
tree. I'm getting in some niche esoteric cognac humor, motherfucker.
Don't white people just go to their neighborhoods and build urban farms and ruin their communities? Isn't that what
That's how it works in Detroit. Like, turns out the soil content is a high level of meth.
Yeah, crazy.
Wow, I didn't know.
That and teeth. There's
that last joke
littered everywhere.
He tried
by the way,
just play it off like,
was he trying to take it to a white community and say meth? Because black folks don't do meth like that.
No, he tried to take it to the white community and say meth so that he can, because after doing all that racial jokes about how black folks sound to him, he tried to act like, oh, if you do it in the white community, there's going to be drugs there. No, it's too late. It was too late.
Joining us to discuss this extremely racist tirade by one of YouTube's biggest stars, Steven Crowder, is Professor Matt Sienkiewicz, Professor of Media Studies from Boston College. Thank you for joining us. How are you this morning, man?
Oh, it was doing all right. Then I had to watch that again. So
yeah,
a little less good now. Oh my goodness!
Sorry, and you a white man. I'm so sorry, Matt, because I love you.
Right, we go way back. But that said, off air, you were telling me that you're working on a project and you've done research into Steven Crowder, and you also do research into these into what YouTube and these algorithms do along the way, which is constantly move people further and further and further. They'll start with something like Ben Shapiro, then they'll go next to somebody like Steven Crowder, but then they'll end with an all-out, fascist Nazi that's on YouTube, and those algorithms take us from something that's acceptable in the mainstream all the way down there, and Steven Crowder is part and parcel of it. What'd you think about that clip and that and what we're discussing here?
Oh, I mean, I can't even speak to it. It's revolting, obviously, and terribly unfunny on every level. I can't say anything beyond that about the clip. I can say that the logic that you're describing is exactly right. The only thing I would add to it is that if you just blame it on the algorithm, you sort of let off the hook the intentional way in which these comedians, these people who are trying to be funny, interact with each other and connect. So you can, it's and I am working on a book project about right-wing comedy. And one of the major theses is that you get a combination of, yes, algorithms will shift you among these products towards the more extreme, but also there's this chain by which they host each other. And each one will bring on as a guest a person a little bit more extreme than them. And until you get all the way back, seriously, you find chains where you start in Fox News. It doesn't take you many steps to get to like real neo-Nazi stuff, like the Daily Show and like these like legit full-on Nazi things, which are supposed to be framed through comedy. But I don't think many people watching this would find them very funny. But I will say it's both a technical issue where YouTube will allow these chains to be created, but it is also a very conscious effort with which sort of mainstream right-wing voices such as a Greg Gutfeld or a Ben Shapiro will bring on characters. I mean, I'll throw some names out that may or may not mean anything. People like Michael Malice or the Legion of Skanks or these sort of libertarian branded people. And then those people will bring on people who are much more happy flirting with racism, people like Crowder. And he's not flirting, he's just doing racism. And then on to people who are avowedly, unironically sort of Nazis. It's really quite something.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I like what you just said right there, and I want everybody else to get in as well, is it's part technical. The algorithm does do it, but it's also a daisy chain from these hosts. Like they themselves take the person from one level of bigotry to the next level of bigotry, and they have this entire ecosystem, this infrastructure where they can fund each other with their platforms, and all of them lead to all-out fascism. Talk about that real quickly.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is 100% the case. I mean, on the one hand, it's a normal model, right? You'll bring on other progressive voices to talk. But I'm not equating them morally. I'm just saying that's the logic of it. It's the same thing where you bring on other voices from your world. But it has this extra element of really pulling in the same direction that the technology does. Where it's things that create rage, things that create, engagement, but sort of engagement just through angry clicks, angry feelings, right? So the logic works like that. But when you start with something like, a Ben Shapiro, right, who is going to put forth himself as being super rational. Again, this is how he's going to put forth himself. You can certainly disagree with that assessment. As super rational, right, like kind of a person he's thinking about these things seriously, at least in his branding, right? It's very easy to connect that over to Steven Crowder, who claims to be thinking things rationally, right? He'll do those very, I don't know what word to use, very unimpressive, change my mind things on campus, right? So you start with Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro will bring on a Steven Crowder. They're connected because they both do arguments, right? They both do like reason or whatever, but Crowder starts starting in more overt racism, homophobia, transphobia, that kind of thing, right? And then all of a sudden you start with Shapiro, you're over here on Crowder. Crowder will bring on an edgier libertarian comic who's in there making jokes about Asian Americans, about racism, about Jews in ovens, about this sort of thing, right? And then that person's going to get invited on something where you get to people who are sort of unashamed or don't need to pretend to be anything other than sort of hate-based. And that it's all framed through comedy. I mean, that's the sort of mind-blowing thing, right? It's all edginess. I mean, people, look, you and I, we totally agree. That particular bit, there's nothing clever there at all. So I totally agree. But you have to at least accept that the people watching it, they say it's funny. They're laughing. Yeah. They're watching it because they think it's
racist.
Funny. They're racist. Right.
They're racist as hell. I know that I
guess racist people need comedy.
Well,
yeah,
racist people.
I know. I was on here and I was remember I was doing the what I thought the terrorists at the Capitol sounded like, and to me they sound like white.
That's literally how he sounded, though, Rebecca. You weren't.
It is. So you're right. But when black folks are doing it, I feel like, and especially with people who don't deserve nothing, they don't even deserve dust. But when it's just something about when white folks do anything that has to do, like it has a slight bit of racism in it, it's just disrespectful. We've been dealing with this for our whole entire lives, since our existence. So if that, and then we know that you guys think that sounding like that means that we're unintelligent. So at the end of the day, oh boy, he was wrong. And the fact that YouTube found an excuse, like a loophole to let it stay on there. That to me is ridiculous. It lets me know that YouTube, even though we're on this platform as well, and we are getting throttled when it comes to algorithms and things like that. But these folks on here are every day spewing this hate, and they're saying that that's not a form of hate. That's racism. Hey, racism equals hate to me 100%.
Let me tell you something. If that was Minister Farrakhan, we already know it'd have been a different response. Facebook banned Minister Farrakhan, saying that he was hateful. And still folks from the former president on to many other right wingers are able to spew their racism. It's the world that we're living in. And the reality of the situation is that we got to have more voices like us who really speak truth to power. But these folks are definitely emboldened, man. And they're saying whatever. You know what I want to say, Ben? What needs to happen is we need to teach these white supremacists the real history of America. We need to teach. We need to have a new, let's go on a tour. Let's get these guys in a room and really teach them. I went to a Trump rally, man, and made the front page in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And I was literally battling with Trump supporters, right? And literally educating them on things where they were like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Oh, well, because they are literally brought into this world to just believe that they are just this supreme race and black people are just dirt. And, they're not taught that Richard Spikes made innovated the gear shift. They're not taught that Gary Morgan is the reason that we got a stoplight to go by, go past. They're really not taught that if you take away every invention that black people created, they wouldn't even be able to get around in their daily lives. They couldn't go 1 hour after getting up, 1 hour after waking up without using something that we had our hands on and that we made. And so we really got to teach, man, real history to these white supremacists, man, because they, for some reason, they just think that we just, look at how he was talking. They just think we just stupid and we just nothing. We built everything that you're using each and every day. You just don't know it.
I want to throw in one last clip of Steven Crowder because it's all the way around the board. And the thing that jumps out to me, to everybody on the panel, is the statement that the CEO of YouTube made on Twitter, standing in solidarity with Asian Americans and stop the Asian violence or attacks. And but she quickly got called out because they literally fund and support and promote Steven Crowder, who has a long history of doing anti-Asian bits. Now, we don't have that one, and we're not going to play that one because obviously this is not the time to even show him doing that. But just recently, he did some clips attacking. See, this is what they do. They go after the most marginalized groups. And real quick, Rebecca, you were talking about like when we were doing the impersonations of those white supremacist terrorists. First of all, they were criminals, white supremacist terrorists, right? So F them. Like, we mock them all day long. But then second of all, there's a power dynamic in this country. They got the power. They got the money.
Yeah.
We don't. And so for them to stand in that seat, they're sitting in Steven Crowder sitting in the privilege of his millions of dollars mocking black farmers who got a little bit of assistance from the government. But here's this clown. So long story short, yes, we're going to mock them, and they better watch their mouths when they try to mock us. Because Steven Crowder really, seriously, honestly don't want to smoke. That clown backed out of a debate with me 4 years ago. He was too scared to have a debate with me with his big platform. But I digress. Here's Steven Crowder with more bigotry as he attacks the trans community. Take a look at this clip.
Story catalog, Ellen Page, beloved actress of the United States, is now a man. You can hit the overlay there. I don't want to have to direct this all day. Is now a man. So the privilege card is now removed. Came out as Elliot. By the way, Ellen Page is now confused. Elliot Page. Just be ready for the attacks, because as a straight white male, you are given no quarter. And we actually, this is something that's been a long time coming, and here at Lighthouse Code, we actually have the exclusive of the upcoming first performance of Elliot Page.
Jesus.
God. Oh, God!
Elliot.
This is what YouTube, like, of course Crowder's going to do that.
What's that you're showing?
Oh, that's a picture. I love that picture. That's a picture of him. That's Steven Crowder getting rocked by a labor activist.
Yes,
he thought he was going out there.
Came to mind when I was looking at that video. Like,
is that why he wears that little? Because is it the
this
first?
A holster.
It looks like a gun holster.
Yeah.
It's, remember when we talked about it in his so does he wear that on every episode, or is that?
I don't know.
The same one that we wrote him in on for wearing it before. But yeah.
I don't know. Professor Sienkiewicz, I want you to jump in there in terms of like just the game or the balancing act that YouTube thinks that it's doing. Because, I mean, honestly, like Rebecca, you said we get throttled. Every single progressive, left-leaning, black-leaning voice gets throttled in these spaces. And of course, some of it is preference. Like I like to lean on the technology side, right? But you also talk about the responsibility of the individuals. But YouTube can't let go of this type of content because they make so much money off this bigotry.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, it drives it when you have viewership, right? I mean, for one, there's ad clicks, there's all that. It also drives the data business, which is really what they're a part of. Right. And these things that create engagement, that create clicks to the next space, that sort of keep people looking for the next thing in a very sort of intense way. I mean, that's the whole business model. I mean, they have certain interests in not being understood as an editorial outlet, which is not terribly honest, right? I mean, it's one thing to say that they're not going to delete things. It's another to sort of create these intentional algorithmic processes that drive people between them. it's the kind of thing where they are being driven by a profit motive. They stand behind it as though that profit motive is somehow neutral or like outside of them. Yeah, but of course it's not, right? And these things could be adjusted relatively easily. But the number one thing, right, is it's views, it's engagement. They collect views, but they also collect people's clicks, figure out what they do next. When they create these chains that move people from place to place to place, that's a very profitable business if you're in the data collection industry, right? And that is very much what we get with something like Crowder, where it sort of creates this infrastructure. People move around from his stuff to others in that right-wing world. I mean, that is just a great business if you sell ads and you sell data.
It's big money. It's big business. And I want to yield the floor if either one of you, or Rebecca or Jamal or James, if you guys have a question for them. I know we're way over time, but it's just this is the world we're in, and this is what we're fighting against.
Yeah, I remember back in YouTube days, I was a young YouTube celebrity, and I was a young boy back when YouTube was just getting popping. And subscribers were everything. And when Google bought it and just turned it into this and created this profit model, like I just knew that.
Jamal, you're gone again.
Am I gone?
Yeah, we can hear you, but
hear you.
Yeah,
it could be your
camera.
Battery.
It did something different this time. Like last time we saw your name. But there you go.
Now I'm here.
It's okay
for the moment.
Yeah,
but man, this profit model, man, of that has been created all over social media, man, is really showing. It's just not YouTube, man. It's like, look at what Mark Zuckerberg does. Like, look at what they do to control elections. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the content that they decide that can be used, and you will see that a lot of these big old billionaire companies usually are moving to the right in regards to their decision making, and not really, pushing the narrative that they need to be taxed and the narrative that are folks who are very progressive and left leaning. So, you let these wealthy companies kind of decide what gets shown to people. And that's just, it's dangerous for our future. I talk about, I always talk about, look at like the news stations. Like, what is a left-leaning news station? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have these news stations, man, and they get to control, like, these national news stations get to control what we see. They don't put on any left-leaning news reporters or give them shows. And so they're deciding what to put in front of you to kind of create the narrative that they want. So they get people to start thinking this way. And that's what YouTube is doing. And this is dangerous because I've seen literally this year, Ben, I've seen black people literally spewing right-wing rhetoric
because it pays.
Good, yeah.
Good money.
Well.
Yeah,
it pays well.
Yep.
So, folks, I don't know, Rebecca, I want you to get in there. Professor Sienkiewicz, I know, we're going to have you back as many times as we can have you back. So I'm not going to give you this big send off. We're going to let you stay on the screen with us till we get out of here. Let's get some closing thoughts, though. Professor Sienkiewicz, get your last thought on this issue or anything else.
Gosh, it's again. I legitimately am rattled by facing that Crowder clip again. Look, the fact there is that again, this is something that our current media system asks for, encourages, and we drive profits through it, right, through that kind of engagement. Stopping it at that high level, right, that's a political thing, right? That is finding sensible, realistic forms of transparency and regulation that can be done. And then, as also been mentioned here, right, it also means people like you. I say it probably every time I come come on, right? Giving people options to look elsewhere for content that is responsible, but also fun and funny, right? I mean, remember this on the left, right? You still got to be engaging. You got to be fun and funny. You don't have to be offensive, obviously. You guys do that. A lot of shows do it. Keep doing it. Keep that option out there. And then hopefully we get better transparency in how this stuff works and we can push back.
That's what's up. Jamal Green, man, first time on the new show. We've talked before, but we appreciate you coming this morning, man. And for anybody who's just tuning in, he's got $1 million camera up there. It just messed with him for the last couple seconds. He went out and got the good stuff. And man, we appreciate it, man. Get the last word in here, and then we'll pass it to Rebecca.
Yeah, no, we got a lot of work to do, progressives and those who, man, let me just say for the record real quick, Ben, is that Gen Z is going to change this country's future. I just want to say that to put it out there. They are radical. They are out there fighting every system. They are not saying reform. They're saying abolish, create new. They're not saying I want to work at minimum wage, just saying I want to create my own business. I want to innovate. I want to create the new tech invention, or these corporations need to pay higher wages. Like, they are literally breaking down all of these systems, man. And we gotta continue to support them with shows like this, man, and really give them a voice. And give those policies, those issues, a voice, because we got to fight this white supremacy in America. And you can see it on news stations. You can see it on social media. They don't give shows like this to play. They're not going to call Ben and say, hey, we want you to do this show on CNN or on MSNBC. Like, it's not going to happen, because they don't want people to understand that folks at the bottom really need the support. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, we got to start to give life to these issues and to these policies, man, and keep doing it. So I admire everything you guys are doing. And I'm still looking at my camera like it's on. I need to be looking down here.
Speaking of, hey folks, if you want to see Jamal come and hang out some more, put some lions up in the chat room right now. All the lions across the chat room. Show them some love for coming through. Rebecca.
Yes, and Jamal, thank you so much. We loved having you here. Lion in the background. See, it's just
the lion in the background. Look at that.
Everything just flows together like that.
It just flows.
It's meanings, it's signs,
Leo.
Miracles, signs, and wonders. But yes, we loved having you here, Jamal. It was amazing, and it felt like you were family being here. You were here for the good. You were here for the crying. You were here for the fighting.
Oh man, you got the full range.
You got the full range of drama, baby. But and Matt, we absolutely love having you on. Of course, you're our brother from another, the white man that I love. But I really want you guys to continue to tune in. Just like Jamal said, we are a really, really full packed show. I should be at my corporate job right now, but I took that extra 10 minutes to stick with y'all. So if you want that third hour, like Ben always says, make sure you guys go to Patreon. Ben, do we have our Patreon up there?
We don't have the new one. So hold that thought. Don't go to any Patreon right now today. But you're going to go to a Patreon on Monday. And it's going to be the Like It or Not Patreon. And if you are a patron of my show, Like It or Not, or anything else that we're affiliated with, you get all the same access. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Yes. And we have so much that we want to talk about. There was so much more that we wanted to get into in the show. So if you want that third hour, wait till Monday, get that Patreon. Make sure you follow us on social media, Like It or Not Show on Instagram. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe on this YouTube channel. Get on Facebook, send it to your mama, your grandma, your grandfather, everybody. And make sure you get on Twitter and you retweet it. This is how you guys can support us for the free right now. And it all means a lot as we are throttled, but our message, we are giving that good news. We're giving you the message, and we're still going to be fighting that good fight to make sure we literally give these white supremacists these hands virtually or digitally or however we can. So I love you guys. Mean it. And make sure you follow me on Twitter at Rebecca Azor on Twitter. And Ben, take it away.
The last thing I've got to say is to my brother, James Bubba Williams, DJ Exclusive, man, We got more love for you than I think you even know. We love you. We support you. Shout out to all of our Wildcat friends who are mourning this morning. But I want to salute James because this brother, he said he didn't feel like getting up this morning. And I understand. I completely understand. But you know what? He came. And he came because he not only loves us, but because he loves you in the audience. So, James, obviously, this is now your world. And we're just here to let you shine, brother. So do your thing, and we'll see everybody on Monday.
Love you, James. Love y'all. Mean it.
Love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much.
Much love, Bubba.
J Mal, thank y'all so much for coming, man. Definitely got to have you back on as soon as possible. Matt, thank you so much for joining as well, too.
You don't mean nothing to me. E-boys like you every dinner. I don't believe what you
So we got one song for you because corporate America is calling. Probably not going to go in today, but, you know, at least give you a little good music.
Are you wearing gold? You're nothing more than silver.
Thank y'all so much for everything, y'all. Love y'all, love y'all, love y'all so much.
But are you always unaware? Walk around like everything belongs to you.
Lisa Noel, I need you to hit us up in the chat. Let us know that you're okay.
You're nothing more than silverware.
I love y'all too, man. Thank y'all so much.
Honey, why you show off your money? Wave it like it's a tissue. Baby, this is your issue. I'm not falling for bullshit. If you like me, then say it. You don't get that I see it through this facade that surrounds you. Growing up takes time, so you waste mine. You and me ain't right. Are you wearing gold? You're nothing more than silverware. So
Nick, you're absolutely right. I think I am going to take the day off.
Walk around like everything belongs to you. Talk to me like I'm a young stupid fool. Take off all your clothes. You're nothing more than silverware. I'm over you, so done with you.
Just another sunny day in Southern California.
Nat Squad, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Love you, mama. I appreciate you.
Come and see what you've been missing on a little slice of heaven. It's the only place we're living.
Peter Griffin, not yet. Probably sometime today or tomorrow. You know I love Marvel.
It's been turning kind of gray.
Lisa Noel, are you okay over there, Lisa?
But I'm allergic to the rain. What happened to euphoria? Oh, oh, oh. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about a damn thing. I'm too excited. Dark liquor with the palm trees. It's all in the
Sensation, I appreciate you too. I appreciate your super chat and the love, so I appreciate you.
Come and see what you've been missing.
Goku, you are right. He's about to Kamehameha his lamp in his whole house.
It's that West Coast point of view. Easy when it's all in summertime. You ain't got every act to do. Who cares what the people think?
SS Betty, this is Jonta Links, Jontha Links, and this is called Socialite. Yes, Mara. Justice League The Snyder Cut was the movie we deserved the first time. And I'll say that again, everybody. Justice League The Snyder Cut was the Justice League movie we deserved the first time. It's a great, great movie. All right, so that's going to do it for your boy, man. I just want to tell y'all thank you again. Shout out to my family, y'all. Everybody here, like it or not, that's the family I'm talking about. Of course, my real family, they already know. But, man, thank y'all so much, man. I really love y'all, appreciate y'all. And everybody everybody in the chat room on Twitch, Facebook, here on YouTube, everywhere we streaming at y'all. Thank y'all so much for showing love and support, man. I really appreciate y'all. And my black ass would get on screen and start crying, but hey, it is what it is. But anyway, y'all, we will see y'all on Monday morning. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. Have fun. Love on those that you love, y'all. Give people their flowers while they're still here. All right? Like it or not. Love y'all. We'll see y'all on Monday. Deuces. I'm still here. Hey.